Alright, so this is our kitchen currently. This kitchen has went through some serious renovations over the last few years. We're not done yet, but it's starting to look a lot better. And we've gotten over here, and this countertop is just, it's never been something we've enjoyed, but it just is. And then we decided, as part of the renovations, we put in this over here, and we had to get a new countertop. And of course, we have this color now, and we like it a lot better. No more ugly yellow, but it doesn't match the rest of the kitchen. So we bought the laminate, which sits in our junk heap over here, rolled up nice and neat, that we're going to put down on top of this. And as you can see, there's some permanent stains from where some glue was. We had a stove here that had a back on it, and it left just those nasty stains. And we got some cracking here. Whenever we did some work, we put this tile in, it just cracked the laminate. And as you see behind the sink, there's actually some laminate flaking up, and it's just gonna get water back there and cause a big mess. So that sink there, we actually painted it white, and it's been okay, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. It just doesn't work out good. So we're going to replace that sink with something a lot better, and we're just going to document it a little bit and show you what we're doing. Okay, so here's our counters. We've removed all these little giblets. Too bad they couldn't come off in one gigantic piece. We did get a couple long runs. Most of it, though, is glued down pretty good and just goes a couple inches and shatters. We only have a few imperfections on our counters. We'll have to sand those down and fill them in. This is one of the worst ones here. It's pretty deep. We'll fill that down with some putty and smooth it off. Kind of like you do sheetrock on the wall. And yeah, so this is coming along pretty smoothly. So getting it off the edges has proven to be a lot more difficult than even the top was. It seems to be stuck very good. It breaks every inch or so. As you can see, even the bottom pieces are just shattering, you know, of what is just, what, 2 inches wide. So I have went around with the razor blade around the entire edge, and I'm using this putty knife and a hammer, and it's coming along nicely. So I think I'll be done with the removal of all the old laminate here in just a few minutes. Okay, so we decided to go ahead and replace all this too with new, not just where the sink area is, because we got a lot of water damage and whatnot. And as you can see, the people originally cut this, they can't even cut a straight line. But what we got is all this tracking that was like an edge around the old laminate. I can't get it out without replacing this anyways. It won't really come out of there. So I'm going to rip it all up so I get access to it. But I wanted to show you this. This is the kind of job, every time I get in this house, I find people did jobs halfway. This is the support board that's supposed to hold this edge up, and it was sagging lower than my new piece, and I couldn't quite figure out why. See that? So that is actually right here. There's a nail. That seems to be the only thing holding that up. Now there might be a couple nails here, but there's nothing on this side at all. So how is the support joist supposed to support the countertop if it's not even nailed down? That's why I've got a lot of sag right in this area and not very much on this end. Just great. So now that I've got most of the wood out, a few pieces I gotta get out, you can really see this support joist. Look at this. Man, what they think was going to happen? What's interesting is they made a mess when they put the board on the wall because they couldn't find the stud, and they didn't even put none here where that magnet's sitting. There's no stud, so I'm going to put one there to help take up some of this flex. Alright, so last night we, with help of my dad and Chelsea, we managed to cut all the pieces out. That was quite challenging to get them cut without any chipping, but we did manage to get all the factory seams to line up. so we didn't have to cut our own seams. So they should butt up pretty nicely, and playing around with them they do. So now we're going to put this contact cement on. You gotta wait 20 minutes and then you can stick it down. So what we've done, we've made a line right here. We can see through this wax paper. Some people use dowels to set the stuff down with. We're gonna use wax paper and just get back here and just pull it out from underneath there and then stick it down. And then it should hold itself until I pull the wax paper all the way out. And then we'll be able to butt this next one up to it when we glue it. So. Okay, so I have applied the contact cement to both sides, both surfaces. And now we have to wait 20 minutes and then we can apply it. And I'm telling you, this stuff stinks so bad, it'll get your neighbors high. It is unreal. After a lot of hard work, this is our results. I'm pretty impressed with how the laminate looks. I know it's not granite or quartz, but for what it costs, it does really make a kitchen look good in comparison to our 1970s yellow. We have less seams than the original countertop had, so that's good. So hopefully, you know, long term there'll be less chance of water damage. They actually had seams right in the middle of the sink, and that just wasn't wise. This sink we got on Amazon for $150. They're over $200 at Lowe's. This is a Moen faucet. I highly recommend it. It's actually a type of stainless that resists like smudges from your fingers. This is a auxiliary faucet hooked up to a Brita under sink mount water filtration system. Comes out at about 1 gallon per minute, so pretty fast, a lot faster than the ones that usually mount to your actual water faucet. And it actually looks better than those. Along the edges, we use caulking that is actually the same color as the grout instead of using white, so that made a big difference. We were going to replace the outlets and light switches with brand new white light switches. That should make a drastic improvement. Those have been around just way too long, almond or ivory color. We filled the seams with a little bit of white caulk and then wiped it away. You can't even tell. So there's still a little bit of work left. We've actually got across the sink. I got a little bit of a leak, but once we get that fixed up, we'll be set.